Until a few months ago, I could never find any Stoic podcasts that I could really sink my teeth into, and that's Stoic with a capital S. But recently, I found 4 different Stoic podcasts that I'm really enjoying, ranging from new to old, short to long, and beginner to advanced. My name's Kirby, and if you enjoy this video, then hit the like button. If you want to see more videos about Stoicism and how you can start improving your life day by day, then hit the subscribe button. If you find a podcast that you like from this list, then make sure to message the owner of the podcast, just letting them know that Kirby let them find the podcast. Let's start off with number 4, which is the Painted Porch podcast. The vibe of the podcast is quite a casual one, with the 3 hosts just sitting around and discussing various Stoic podcasts. From what I found, it's quite an old podcast, with the first one being aired in 2014. Each 45-minute long episode dives deep into how modern people can use ancient philosophy to greatly improve their life. I highly suggest this podcast. It's stopped airing at the moment, but if you go back to the website, there should be a link in the description, you can watch their old ones, starting with episode 1. And number 3 is Tim Ferriss's podcast. And whilst the whole thing's not about Stoicism, I'd recommend that you watch the one episode where he interviews Ryan Holiday. Ryan Holiday is such an interesting man, writing 2 books based purely on Stoicism. The Obstacle is the Way, and The Ego is the Enemy. It's really interesting to see how a modern Stoic can apply Stoicism into his life, and you can have a direct glimpse into his life and how Stoicism's benefited him. And number 2 is Stoic Mettle by Hebert. This is really interesting because he just started the podcast recently after finding Stoicism. So if you go back to the first episode, you can see him explaining what he's just learned about Stoicism. And now a few episodes later, he does one every single week. It's interesting to see how he's grown as a person and how he's still grown towards Stoicism. This man lives on a farm in the middle of nowhere, so it's really interesting how he's directly applied Stoicism into his life and found it so profound that he had to share it straight away. This man has blown up from nowhere, and he's gone on interviews with some amazing people like Ryan Holiday and similar people like that. And finally, number 1 is Good Fortune by the Immoderate Stoic. I think this podcast's finished, but it's short, concise, direct, and down to earth. Each 15-minute episode will shock you about Stoicism, where he focuses on a single quote and dives deep into the practical aspects and how that can benefit your life. Based on the quote, "Misfortune nobly born is good fortune." This podcast covers a range of ideas, from exercising to morning routines. I highly recommend this podcast. It's my number 1 Stoic podcast that I recommend to people when they ask me about Stoicism, followed closely by the Stoic Mettle by Hebert. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's just a quick one. I don't think there's any other podcasts that I would recommend apart from these 4, but the first one especially is great. That's it from me, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, then hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, then hit the subscribe button.